E63.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you are having a fantastic day. If you're new to the channel, my name is Parker Nierenstein, and this is Vehicle Virgins. I just got word from Anarchy that my wheels for the Lamborghini are done. Now, they looked super cool when they were in multiple pieces. I showed you guys that when I toured the facility, but they just sent me what they look like all put together, and my mind has absolutely been blown. So hopefully, in the coming week, I'm gonna go down and get them mounted on the car. I am so pumped and cannot wait to share that with you guys. Now, yesterday, my buddy James with the Camaro and the Corvette sent me a picture of what looked like the set of Westworld. I don't know if you guys have seen the show Westworld, but honestly, one of my favorite shows of all time. Westworld, Game of Thrones, The Old Office, Breaking Bad for sure. But also in the Super Bowl, they just announced that Westworld 2, the second season, is coming out. I mean, that show is just literally, you think you understand what's going on, and you're wrong every single time. But he sent me a picture and some videos from the set of Westworld, and apparently it's not all that far away from here. So I'm thinking, I'm gonna get Becca, and we're gonna take the Z4 so she can get a little bit more practice on learning how to drive a manual, and go check out Westworld. Let's do it. What's up? You ready to go hiking?
Yes.
Let's go. Have you even seen Westworld though?
No.
No. Do you know anything about it?
No idea.
Well, maybe I can explain it to you while we're there. And you can master learning how to drive a manual. What'd you say?
It's like sci-fi.
It is sci-fi. Basically, Westworld is like this world that they created for, I'm gonna do such a bad job explaining this, for wealthy people to kind of live out all their fantasies. So they go into this super futuristic building or whatever, and then it transports them into basically the wild, wild west, and they can interact with all these characters that are actually robots, but they're such high-level advanced robots that eventually you don't even know who is a robot. And it turns out some people like super high up in the thing that work at this facility that's not in Westworld are robots, but they don't look like a robot. They look like me and you. So it's crazy. Let's do it. Good morning, Z4. Are you ready to be driven today? She is no longer straight piped. With the exhaust disconnected, it sounded pretty extreme. This beeping when you don't have your seatbelt on is super aggressive. Shh, it's gonna be all right. Bye-bye, Ellie and Ariana. All right, let's do this. Becca driving manual round 3. I read a couple comments on that video where I just taught her for the second time how to drive manual, which was literally her second time ever in a car with a manual transmission. And some people were like, wow, what a slow learner. When is she ever gonna learn? Definitely people who have never driven stick before, because it's not super difficult, but you can't be a master at driving a manual within 2 times of driving a manual transmission vehicle. That's just not possible.
I don't know.
I think you're a super fast learner. Like, honestly, you're doing really well.
I got it.
You got the parking brake off. There we go. That's the hardest part because I always put it up too intensely. Well, we got it in sport. That's actually the most important part.
Let's see if I remember how to do things.
You got it. Woo, woo! We're going to the Wild West. That was awesome.
Why did I keep doing Okay.
All right.
I think I know what happened.
Now you got this one.
Do I stand first, right?
Yeah.
Okay, to give it a little bit more steady gas. You feel
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's all right. We still got, you know what? If you didn't stall, then I count it as a win. And okay. You pretty much have.
And then I just have to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that. Second nature. Like a beast.
Thank you. And then, should I go up again?
Yeah, go to 3rd.
Okay. Oh, there's a
You're good.
stop sign.
There's a stop sign. Oh my god, you just downshifted. What a beast.
Well, no, I didn't ever shift into 3rd.
Oh.
I just...
You got it.
Oh,
it didn't stall. It didn't stall.
I just fully accepted defeat.
That was incredible.
This is kind of hard. There's little stop signs.
That's the perfect way to learn.
Keep going into.
Keep going. Keep going.
You mean run the stop sign?
No. Don't run the stop sign.
Oh, okay. Can I just leave it in first? Because I keep having to go back in first.
Yeah. I think the end of the clutch throw, you're releasing it a little bit too fast.
Okay. I think because you just can do it so fast. I don't really understand. Okay, that was kind of fast, but whatever. I don't want to shift into 2nd because then I have to downshift, right?
Well, no. How about shift into 2nd, and then once you get to the stop sign, just put it in neutral.
I'll just wait.
You'll just wait it out.
Almost there anyways. We'll just cruise.
We'll just cruise to the stop sign.
Clutch in, brake.
There you go. So the last bit of the clutch. Just release that a little slower than before. Whoa.
You see the road?
Yeah, the road is intense. All right, now go into second. Release the clutch. Nice, very smooth.
Thanks. It's whatever.
Oh, and the mountain.
Rodeo.
Put in first again.
Wow,
And
how do people do this?
it takes some practice. There you go.
Not like how do people actually do it? Like why would anyone ever want to literally stop at a stop sign every time and then redo it? Like
Maybe that's why so many people run stop signs. They all have manuals. No, probably not. New seat position, a little bit better.
Yes. I still did it kind of face.
Good work.
Not quite.
I think it's up over that way. Just pulled up to the parking lot, although in the TV show, people entered Westworld via this train. So, I don't know, off-roading the Z4, kind of similar to a train in no way, shape, or form. And then we're also next to, this is where they filmed The Biggest Loser. That's pretty funny. This is wild. It's the Wild West, it's wild. Wait, this is actually crazy. That church plays an important role in the TV show. Is it open? The sheriff's station?
I don't want to break the door.
Yeah, no, that's true. There's a little jail cell inside there with a little skeleton. I think this is the train station where every episode starts, and then they head this way. Crazy knowing that I watched this show, well, actually when I was in Michigan, I watched it with all my roommates, was so pumped about it, and then for this to be relatively close by, I've driven by this place a ton of times. In fact, out front of this looked like a really cool filming spot, and I almost shot there. Imagine if I had just rolled up to film a car review, and then went, oh wait, this is like pretty much the set to one of my favorite shows of all time. This tree looks super creepy. Oh look, the women's restroom. Yeah, I don't think they had a unisex bathroom in Westworld, but we're not sure. Oh, there's the inside of the jail. Creepy. Well, there you go, guys. A fun little tour of Westworld. That is crazy to see. I love this church, although inside the church, it doesn't have any of the things that you'd normally see in a real church. It's basically everything's empty, but I believe this is a set to a bunch of different movies and TV shows, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably any Paramount movie.
Yeah, given the Paramount
West.
Ranch name, probably.
Ooh, look up there. Look how pretty that is. To go hike up.
Whoa. Ooh. Oh, there we go. See, this was in fact the train station where they enter in. Jail, bank, saloon.
Wait, that's a jail. I didn't realize.
You didn't know,
Oh,
judging by the jail cell.
This is X-Files, Dr. Quinn.
Hey,
We're
where's
not sure
Westworld?
what any of those-
Well, thank gosh James appeared, because there are no markings anywhere that say what I am on right now. You notice this giant banked turn and then a bank turn here? This actually used to be a racetrack that Steve McQueen drove on quite a bit. I imagine part of the reason why they got rid of it is there's a tree in the middle of the track. Just kidding, but apparently also down there, there's an oval racetrack as well. That is awesome. Right next to Westworld. Who would have thought? It looks like the track maintenance is a bit low, but still might be doable. And just kidding. Looks like it just drops off right there. Wow, they said Laguna Seca is technical, but look at this. You think you could hit that?
Nah.
What's the line through here? More of the racetrack.
My,
Headed out to the oval track. This is nice being out here. I used to go on so many hikes when I was a kid. I also used to backpack all the time with my dad and my uncle. I haven't been out here in the wilderness in some time now. There it is, look at that. Oval track. I'm not quite sure where it goes though. Where does it go?
Goes
No,
this
look,
way,
babe,
and then
don't-
it comes right here by the tree line.
Oh,
And then it keeps going straight to where we parked.
gotcha. Well, I certainly didn't expect Paramount Ranch to be littered with racetracks. We've got an actual racetrack and then an oval circuit. That's awesome. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
I mean, it's better than getting a block.
Oh, here we go. Well,
I'm gonna push you off.
thanks. Wait a minute.
Wait, can we take my
Remote controlled models, electric only.
Parker,
What?
my event store.
Could you imagine?
Should we bring it there?
That would be, I mean, it's technically a remote control electric model. Becca's Aventador out on this oval racetrack. I don't think the wheels will even make it over these cracks.
Yeah, they will. You underestimate it.
It's true. It'd probably just run out of battery halfway through the lap.
Well, if we charge it.
That's true. That would actually be crazy.
We should mod it and then like do time trials.
Oh my gosh. I'm down. Well, there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of the Westworld set as well as 2 abandoned racetracks. That would be pretty crazy to come back here and actually take Becca's Aventador around that oval track. I'm not quite sure if it would work. It is so beautiful out today. Bye-bye, Westworld. That was a fun little adventure. Back at the crib now. Now I just posted on my Instagram at Vehicle Virgins. If you're not following me on Instagram, make sure to do so. Handle at Vehicle Virgins. And I asked you guys to ask me questions about the new E63 that is coming. And yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about when that's coming after the Q&A. But because I'm doing a little update on the car, I figured I'd get some of your questions and I would answer them. The first question is from Sammy. Are there any things you regret about purchasing the E63? And I'm gonna talk about one of those. A pretty decent sized regret towards the end of the video. But actually one thing that I do kind of regret, it's a blessing and a curse, is getting the sports exhaust. And this will tie into some further questions, but I may plan on doing an aftermarket exhaust on the E63, so getting the factory upgraded one, which was decently expensive, might end up being kind of redundant and a bit of a waste of money. And of course, if I don't go with an aftermarket exhaust, then the AMG Sports exhaust was a good idea. Sounds fantastic, but sometimes after a little bit, you want the car to be a bit louder. From Nakori03, will you tune your E63? Absolutely, no doubt about it, I'm gonna tune this thing. When? I'm not quite sure. I probably wanna enjoy it for a little bit without a tune, but then we gotta bump the power up for sure. That's what I love about the new 4-liter twin turbo engine is there's a lot of power left on the table, and for not that much money, boom, you can up it to 700, 800, 900 horsepower. The other route is, instead of just a tune, I could go bigger turbos and a tune to get it up into the 900 horsepower range. Maybe after a little bit, I go that route. That would be nuts. Why did you choose that color for the E63? That's a good question. There were 3 colors I was choosing between. The Magno Selenite Gray that I have now, that's that matte gray. Then there was, I believe, Selenite Gray, which is the gloss version of that. And then there was also the matte black that comes on the Edition 1 car. Kind of the reason between choosing between the gloss or the matte was based on protecting the car. I was thinking, well, if I'm gonna end up wrapping it to protect the car from rock chips, so on and so forth, what if I just got the gloss gray, and then if I did something like XPEL Stealth, that would make it turn into this matte finish, as opposed to if I get the car already matte, then if I put a normal clear bra on it, I believe it makes it glossy again, so I'd have to get a matte one, not really sure, but honestly, that matte finish, I've always wanted to own a factory matte car, and I thought this would be the perfect one to do it. I love the matte black, it only comes on the Edition 1, and that car, it limited you in the options you could get. I love the interior of the Edition 1. It has yellow piping. You can't get that yellow stitching in any other E63. You can't spec it out that way. So that was kind of nice, give some contrast in the interior, but you couldn't get the upgraded sound system and you couldn't get a couple other options. I also don't like the decal on the side of the car, although I believe you can remove that. From Amir Khan, are you going to drag race Alejandro with his AMG GTR against the E63? If he's down, I am super game. Both cars have the exact same motor. I mean, the AMG GTR is lighter, although mine is all-wheel drive. That would be a heck of a battle. Why didn't you get a wagon? That's an excellent question. In fact, originally, I was going to get a wagon. The wagons, you had to wait about 4 months longer than the sedans. And honestly, I thought it was too round. I loved the last generation wagon, the sharp looks, but the new one, it kind of looked a bit like a turd to me in pictures. Then of course, when I saw one in Germany, I absolutely loved it. Do I regret not getting the wagon? Not really, but definitely would have been fun to differentiate the car by getting a wagon. From David, do you prefer the E63 to the S-Class? Obviously, very different cars. The S-Class is more comfortable, but I think overall, the E63 fits my needs more. I want something that, when I take it out, it can do everything. I can have fun in the canyons with my friends. It's also comfortable. It also seats 5 people. I can put stuff in the back. but it sounds good, it's stupid fast, and it has just as good of an interior, if not better, because they upgraded the lighting system, the interior ambient lighting, and now that I have the upgraded audio system, than the S-Class. Overall, for me, I like the E63 as a package more. From Meter86, if you don't beat the hell out of it, you are a girl. Well, I guarantee you I'm gonna drive the car the way it's meant to be driven. Given the fact that I did straight pipe and off-road the S-Class, I've drifted the S-Class, raced it around in the snow, and also I've obviously done some pretty intense things with the Lamborghini Huracan. Not to mention, I believe I have the highest mileage Huracan that's a non-rental car in the country or world. Yes, it'll get driven, and it'll get driven hard. Don't you worry about that. Do you really like the Mercedes-Benz pickup truck? Honestly, I hate the Mercedes-Benz pickup truck. The X-Class, it just kind of looks like a soft Toyota Tundra with a Mercedes logo on it. Not a fan. Pierce D, can you do a drift video in the E63? One of the biggest reasons why I got the E63 is that drift mode. You put it into drift mode and it completely decouples the front drivetrain. It's 100% rear wheel drive and it can drift like crazy because it's 603 horsepower. Yes, I have to do a drift video with the E63. From that photographer, how's it going, Spencer? I haven't seen you in a while. We definitely need to link up. What are the first 3 mods that you do on cars that you buy? Now, I'd love to say that instantly after I get cars, it's mod, but judging by the previous history of the cars I've had, I don't do it quite that fast, but definitely the mods that I do is a tune, an exhaust, wheels, and a wrap. I guess that's 4 mods. For the E63, definitely gonna do a tune, potentially an exhaust. The wrap, I love the color so much. I don't think I would do a wrap on the car, but maybe some accents to change it up a little bit, make it more personal, make it more vehicle versions. I love the kind of pseudo center lock wheel look of the ones that come on the car that I option, but you never know, could throw some anarchies on there. Well, there you guys go. Thank you so much for all of your questions. I'm sorry I couldn't get to all of them, but hopefully I answered some of the good ones. Now I want to talk about a big problem that I have with the E63. It's something that you don't really realize until you do this European delivery, and that is what happens with payments. So normally when you buy a car, you start making the payments when you get the car, and you're making payments on a car that you own and you're driving it around the streets and having fun. But with European delivery, you get to drive the car in the beginning, you make that initial payment, but then you don't get the car for like 2.5 months. So you're sitting there making payments. I just got a call from Mercedes-Benz Financial. Hey, your payment's due. Okay, I'm making payments on the car and I don't even have the car yet. So it's a little bit of a bummer, especially on a leased car. If you only have the car for, let's say, 24 or 36 months, then it's chewing into your actual lease. Now all of a sudden when you get it, you only have 21 months left or 33 months left. You get less time to enjoy the car. Now you do get a discount when you do European delivery. I believe that's supposed to factor in a little bit those payments, but they kind of make it seem like that's actually just to cover your expenses in order to get out to Europe. But honestly, it's just kind of troubling having to make payments on a car that you don't have yet. So where is the E63? Honestly, at this point, guys, I don't even know. I'm a little bit disappointed right now. It landed at the port of Los Angeles on February 1st. Then it's supposed to clear customs, then go to a facility that makes sure the car is all good, although they'll probably be confused about one of my tires being different than the rest. Then it gets transported to the dealership and then the person gets it. Now that's supposed to take anywhere between 7 and 21 days. Usually the 21 is if the port is really far away from the dealer. It takes time to transport the car, obviously. Considering the port of Los Angeles is really not all that far whatsoever. If I could have just driven down or taken an Uber to the port of Los Angeles, of course I would do that to pick up my car instantly, but unfortunately that's not part of the process. Right now, according to my dealer, it hasn't cleared customs yet. It arrived at the port of Los Angeles. At this point, it's been 7 days and there's no updates on whether it's cleared customs, which probably means it hasn't yet. So I'm sitting here kind of with no updates. There's nothing I can really do, praying that I get the green light that the car is heading my way. So that's the deal with the E63. I want the car so badly. Can you just show up already, please? Please. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video.